being a Christian should not be easy. So if you're going through life and consider yourself a Christian and are unscathed by the challenges of the world, well, you might have to reassess if you really are living the gospel. Jesus says very clearly that if you are going to be a follower, you have to take up your cross and you must follow me. So Jesus never lies to us. He tells the truth right in the beginning. If you're simply along for the ride, go home. Go home. Who needs you? You're nothing but extra baggage. Over these weeks, I have been interested in seeing how people are responding to challenges to faith in our society. And especially as society has become more and more woke, there are certainly many more challenges for Christians to respond to. Many Christians simply go along with the program. Oh, it's okay, that's the way it is today. Everybody's doing it. Everybody is saying it. Just keep your mouth shut. I have a trouble with myself keeping my mouth shut. I have a bigger trouble. And it sometimes costs me. And when my sister finds out about it, she says, "Can't you shut up?" I said, "Marie, I can't because I got to answer to God in the long run." Oh, that's what she says. That's what she says. Thank God she's always honest with me. It's not always pleasant when she yells at me. But I hear her. Don't always listen to her, but I hear her. Okay. Let me tell you about a couple of cases and then a challenge for you. You have to rise up to the challenge that I am going to give you. But hold on. There is a case coming out of Vermont. It is a legal case that's going to go before the Second Circuit in Vermont. And the case involves the Vermont Christian School. Vermont Christian School. And they have a basketball team, which plays with other basketball teams throughout the state. Now, one of the teams coming in has a boy who says he's a girl on their team. So this is girls' basketball. Well, Vermont Christian School says, no, we're not going to play with that team. Not only is the boy bigger, better, faster, and stronger, but it contradicts our faith because we believe that God only made two genders, male and female. So we're not going to play against him because that would be us admitting that what they're doing is okay, and it's not okay. Lo and behold, what happens? They get expelled by the Vermont Principals Association. They can't play any more sports. Now, do you know how difficult that is to stand up to the state that says you're violating the state's laws against gender identity? And in a little school to be able to take their case to court and for the kids not to be playing because of a Christian principle? But that's the gospel. That's the gospel. Okay. Going to go to court. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but as you know, the world is stunada today. You know what stunada is? Crazy. So you don't know. So there are going to be more challenges for Christians. It's not the end. Okay. Second case comes out of, I know you're going to be surprised at this one, New York City. Talking about stunad, anyway, there's a woman who applied and successfully landed a job with CUNY, City University of New York. And she had very, very high recommendations, credentials were great, interviewed great, the whole thing. And her job was to distribute scholarships to various groups in the state or in the city. And during her employment over the past, I believe, year or 2 years, she became a Christian. I don't know what denomination. However, one-tenth of her job involved encouraging and giving out scholarships to the LGBTQ community. And she said, I can't encourage that. I can't do that anymore because I am a Christian. Now, we have always talked about accommodations when it comes to religious freedom. Religious freedom is one of those freedoms guaranteed in the First Amendment. So you have to be very careful when we say that you cannot exercise your religious freedom rights. But City of New York fired her. She's now taking the City of New York to court. Once again, she took a stand for her faith. And I'll add this one thing. Oftentimes, people in that office where she works share tasks so that someone else could have done some of her job and she could have done somebody else's job. Sounds like religious discrimination to me, doesn't it? We be very careful. Got to protect our freedoms. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Okay. So it's not easy. Taking a stand is not easy. You are going to be disliked. You're going to be disparaged. You might be fired. Your kids can't play sports. Many other punishments come along with it. Let me talk to you just briefly about the challenge that I promised you a little while ago. This is a challenge to prove as to whether or not you are a Christian or you're just going along for the ride. Or maybe you talked to my sister Marie and she said, keep your mouth shut. You hear so much these days about Amendment 4 on the ballot in November. Do you know what Amendment 4 is about? It's about unlimited abortion. Unlimited up till birth. Unlimited. It's about usurping parental rights. Anybody can approve of an abortion. Guidance counselor, teacher, friend, anybody. And parents can only be notified later if they do not want the parents to know before the procedure takes place. Thirdly, almost anybody can perform the abortion. Doesn't have to be a doctor. An offense against parental rights. It's an offense against good medical practice. How many of you have taken time to talk about Amendment 4 with your neighbors, with your family, with your friends? I dare say not too many. You say, well, I don't really have the opportunity. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. You know, from time to time, I attend, what can we say? I know it's going to be hard for you to believe, political meetings, just to find out what's going on, you know. I'm nosy. And Rosalie says I'm Italian. You mean the Italians are nosy, Rosalie? Come on. We like to talk. Okay. That's when they call you a cacchiaron. You like to talk, okay? Okay, so they often say the way you win an election is by talking to your friends, by knocking on doors, and by calling people up. This November, we have an opportunity to exercise our Christian beliefs that abortion is murder, that it is evil. How many of you will take that opportunity to speak out, to call friends, relatives? How many of you will take the time to talk to your neighbors? When you get together in your community clubhouse, how many will take time to talk to other people? Let me tell you about Amendment 4. How many of you would even dare to knock on somebody's door and hand them a flyer and say, please consider this when you're voting? There was a song, I think, that probably nobody here, well, maybe somebody here might remember, World War I. How many were there? But you may have heard this song that was sung about a soldier. He was overseas, one of the doughboys, and it went like this: "Is you is, or is you ain't my baby." In this case, is you is, or is you ain't a Christian. God love you. Oh, Marie's going to be on me today.